Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. Today I want to talk about Cloudflare's newest feature called their Argo Smart Routing. Now if you've been using us here at NameHero.com, you realize we've built our entire business, our entire hosting company based on speed. We want your website to load fast. When I started NameHero back in 2015, I saw a huge gap in the web hosting industry. There's a lot of web hosting companies, but there was very few, if not any, in my opinion, that offered high-speed, reliable cloud web hosting that was simple and affordable. It seemed like if you wanted to get high-speed cloud hosting, you had to pay all this money for a VPS and provision everything yourself and install the software, and it was just really a pain in the neck. So I built NameHero out of necessity. I needed something for my businesses to where I could host my websites and they would be fast, and then it would also be affordable. So that was the catalyst behind NameHero in the first place. There's nothing more worse than a slow loading website. And it doesn't matter if you're the local butcher down the street or if you're making money online by running a popular website. If your site is slow, you're losing visitors, which means you're losing customers, which means you're losing money. So that's why we built our fast web hosting here at NameHero. Now, Cloudflare is more integrated with them. All of our basic hosting packages and reseller hosting packages have Cloudflare automatically integrated, meaning that you can go right into cPanel and enable it on your account. We have their Railgun installed, which already helps your page load. It can increase your load time up to 200% with Railgun. If you're not familiar with that, feel free to go to our knowledge base at NameHero or you can search right here on our blog for Railgun. And I even have a link down here in this post that I just made about Argo, which I'm going to talk about now in detail. But amongst all these features, Cloudflare just added Argo Smart Routing. So let's talk about what Argo is and if it's worth it. According to Cloudflare's website, Argo Smart Routing reduces internet latency on average by 35% and connection errors by 27%. Cloudflare routes 10% of all HTTP and HTTPS traffic, providing Argo with real-time intelligence on true speed of network paths. So basically this means that Cloudflare is routing so much traffic through the network that they've incorporated artificial intelligence to where they're actually learning network patterns and being able to serve content faster using their Argo algorithm. So it's really smart and exciting technology, and it really kind of, when I read their press release, it kind of aroused my attention, and I wanted to see if it was actually worth it. You can go through here and read more about their caching technology and all that stuff, but let's get down to the bottom of the point at hand here. I hate slow loading websites. That's why I started NameHero. I want a fast website. I unfortunately lived through the 1990s where I created my first internet-based business on a slow dial-up 56K modem. It was like pulling teeth. I remember back in the day, you didn't have tabs in browsers because you couldn't have multiple websites going at once. It took forever just to load one website. And unfortunately, I'm from West Virginia, where we were the absolute last to get cable internet in the United States. I believe it was not until 2001, in the latter part of 2001, that we actually got cable internet. So I have a real grudge to hold against slow loading websites and slow internet in general. Once I got cable internet, I felt like the weight of the world was lifted off me. I now live in Kansas City and have Google Fiber in my home, and in my office we have fiber internet too. Slow loading internet is in my past. It's definitely not now. I hate it. But especially in 2017, with the rise of mobile devices, there's no room for a slow loading website. As I've already said, you're going to lose visitors, you're going to lose customers. You need to optimize everything. So we've talked already about NameHero. We developed it for speed. So you can never have too many things for speed optimizations, in my opinion. That's why we have the Lightspeed web server. That's why we use only SSD RAID 10 drives. That's why we have Maria database instead of MySQL. That's why we have Cloudflare and the Railgun. So amongst all these optimizations, I was curious how well Argo would do. Would it really improve our load time? So I put it on NameHero.com, our main site and blog here, and you can see this response checker we have with Pingdom. And I used a screenshot on my phone because I couldn't really find a report inside my Pingdom interface that could display this, which would be as powerful. And you can see, it took a nice chunk down here. It's important to note that over the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of growth with our site. So we've been having to optimize nonstop as our traffic has been really increasing. But you can see a noticeable difference. That's my point being here with this image. There was a noticeable increase in speed load time once we enabled Argo onto our Cloudflare account. If I can just increase it a couple milliseconds, I'm going to do it. Even though Argo is not free, and we'll get to that in just a second. But if I can make an optimization to my website, especially one that doesn't require any coding or really tweaking on the back end, then I'm going to do it. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the speed test reports that you can get on Google, and you can search Google for website speed tests. I'm really not a big fan of those because I feel like they're not accurate. But you can see I ran one with GT Metrics on Name Hero, and it said 6.2 seconds, which I think is pretty bad. But I really don't think that's an accurate reflection. But after I did enable Argo, let's see, let me pull up the other one. After I enabled Argo, you can see it went down to 3.4 seconds. So my point being here, the test noticed the difference. I still kind of question the accuracy of these tests though, because I'd like to really see what they say. I mean, they're saying we're not using leveraging browser caching on a couple of the external elements on our pages. Okay, I get that, but again, I just don't live by these tests. I can go to Name Hero on any device. I've been on many different networks, and our site loads fast as lightning. I mean, almost as fast as you can blink, and our pages load. But again, point being, I can see a noticeable difference with Argo, and that's what we're going for here. So to enable it, it's really easy. You have to actually log in on Cloudflare.com. They don't have this with their partner integration. Name Hero is a Cloudflare certified partner. We do have Cloudflare with our basic hosting and our reseller hosting accounts with Railgun. But if you want to enable Argo, you actually have to have a paid account with Cloudflare, meaning you have to have your credit card on file. And then you go to Cloudflare.com, you log in, click on the traffic tab, and it looks like this here. So see right here, I'm logged into Cloudflare, click on traffic, and then you just click on. It's off by default and you click on. I mean, it's that simple. But once you do that, Argo is enabled on your site. There's nothing else you have to do. So see, in my perspective here, if I can just log into a website and click on, and it's going to make my site faster, I'm going to do it. So kind of Argo is a no-brainer for me. Now it does cost, and this is part of it. I really like Cloudflare's business model. Actually, I mean they're really smart how they did the freemium model. Now they're introducing all these applications, and I talked to one of their company execs at HostingCon last year, and they said their growth was crazy, and I only assume that that's going to really continue to go as they continue to position their company. So I mean, kudos to Cloudflare. What a great company they are. But it's cheap. It's 10 cents for every gigabyte of transfer. So you can see here, for under 1 gigabyte a month, you're looking at $5. So I think the average website, it's going to be under that 1 gig. Unless you have a ton of media. I think if you do have a lot of images, you should use, S3 or something, Amazon's S3 for those images, if you have a ton of media. But really, $5 for a gigabyte transfer is not bad. Even if you're using 100 gigabytes, $15 a month, if it's speeding it up and you're having that much traffic, it's worth it. And then if you get into the terabytes and stuff, it gets a little bit more expensive. I don't see a lot of sites at a terabyte of usage unless they are very heavy media sites. I've had some myself. I owned a video website once, a video streaming site, and we used something crazy like 20, 30 terabytes a month in bandwidth. So that when you're using that type of usage, you would be extremely, it would be more expensive, not extremely expensive, but it would be pretty expensive. But that site, my media site, got hundreds of thousands of unique visitors a day. So I think for your average site, you're looking at about $5 a month if you're the average WordPress site. Now, if you get a good bit of traffic, then you look a little bit more, but still not that much. So I'm going to rate, yes, I think Cloudflare Argo's smart routing technology is worth it. I can see a noticeable difference on Name Hero, so I'm going to put my endorsement behind it. Again, anytime I have the opportunity to increase page speed, especially just logging in and clicking a button, I'm going to take it. So like I said, kudos to Cloudflare. We appreciate that. And if you look at these related posts, you can see a little bit more about Cloudflare and the features we have here with them at Name Hero. But we enjoy our partnership with Cloudflare, and all our customers and resellers really seem to enjoy it as well. So I hope that you'll use this to leverage the speed of your website and enjoy the Cloudflare Argo service. If you have any questions here for us here at Name Hero, just let us know. You can call us, submit a ticket, or log a live chat. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Thanks a bunch, everyone.